The family of 18-year-old Aurelio Crighton is seeking justice for his death after he was struck down on September 4th on the pedestrian crossing at Pagatstang Public Road, East Bank, Demerara. Crighton was picked up in an unconscious state and transported to the Diamond Diagnostic Center, where he died while receiving medical attention.
Rio and I were on the road, and he just went to a shop and he bought a drink, and we went to the pedestrian crossing, and we were about to cross back the road, where he was I was a few feet away from him while we were crossing, and I just heard a big bang, and as I looked back, he was struck down by a car. The road was clear as we were crossing. I didn't know where this vehicle came from. As I looked back, the car man was speeding going down the road. Still, he didn't apply brakes. He just sped and went down the road, and Rio body pitched up in the air.
Javid Motilal was with his friend when the incident occurred. He said the driver was speeding at the time Crighton was struck down.
This man just run through and through my friend. I was right there. We were walking over the road on the pedestrian. I was just a few feet, like 4 or 5 feet from him. When we were struck down, as I turned around, I saw my friend's body in the air, airborne. And pitched like, I don't know how much feet in the air, away from the pedestrian crossing. So far, looking at his body in mid-air and landing on the heavy concrete road. And this car just sped and going without any means of stopping. All I want to say is that we need justice for this. I can't even handle it right now. We need justice.
The teen was hit by a motor car HD 2455 driven by 36-year-old Deroy Mitchell of Nimes, West Bank, Demerara. Vanessa Dowd, the mother of the teen, says she was in shock when she got the call that her son was in an accident but did not expect him to die.
His mother called me and said, "Come quick to Diamond Hospital. Your son in an accident." I was like, "How Rio would be in an accident? And he is here. He was just here like 10 minutes ago. That's not truth." And I was screaming. And she said, come fast, come fast. So I called a car and I head to Diamond Hospital. When I got there, the guard come to the gate and said to me, you have to hold on because we are trying to save his life. We are trying to see if he can catch himself. He's unconscious right now. And I said, oh my gosh, like I didn't think my son like gets hard hit like that. And I was waiting at the gate for like 50 minutes to get into Diamond Hospital. They didn't let me in. When they let me in, like another 5 minutes after, they tell me I have to fill a form with his name and date of birth, and I did that. And then they put me back at the gate outside. And then I was waiting there. I didn't saw him as yet. And then another 10 minutes after, she come back and says, but call me into the hospital now and sit me down on a chair. And then she stand up in front of me and she says, Mom, and she pat me on the shoulder. She says, sorry for your loss.
The grieving mother said she needs justice and closure for her son's death.
I head to the police station at Providence Police Station there, where I saw the driver of the car. I take a picture of the car, and I went into the police station where I saw the guy. He was lying there at Providence Police Station. So I said to him, I said, oh my gosh, I said, you just take my son's life. You kill my son. And he said, Mom, I'm sorry. And then he says, I saw your son. I saw him. That's what he said to me. So I said, why you didn't stop? If you see he was on the pedestrian crossing, why you didn't stop? And he just bowed his head like this, and he shaking his head like to me. Like I feel at that moment like, oh boy, my life was leaving my body, myself at that instant. I was screaming like crazy. The first thing he heard me hear is saying he's not guilty, because how my son died and you're telling me you're not guilty of killing my child. How did he lose his life? I didn't. Who did it? It's gotta be him. So I'm not happy with him at all. If he admit that he struck my son, I could have a little more sympathy for him, right? But then he pleaded not guilty for doing the act. He didn't take responsibility for his action, right? I right now in my heart, I don't have no like sympathy for him right now at this moment because this is devastated for me right now.
On Monday, Mitchell appeared in court and pleaded not guilty. He was placed on $1 million bail.
He must pay for his action, meaning, he have to serve his time, right? He have to serve some time in prison. He must don't work as a free man, like he didn't do anything, right? So I'm just hoping and praying that everything go well, right? I accept that that won't bring back my child, but he done it to him, and he must pay some consequences of his action for Aurelio, right? Because Aurelio hasn't done anything wrong to him, anything bad to anybody. He was just a little jovial little kid.
The family is calling for the authorities to implement harsher penalties for negligent taxi and minibus drivers.
This man knock is a young man that never even gets to start the future. Was only thinking about how we're going to build the future in the next couple of years from now, right?
Most taxi drivers believe that they have to reach very fast where they're going to make another trip or whatever. And so I think this is the negligence that he caused, and the consequences should be solid and heavy on him. So his example, if the authority take that step in making him pay the penalty, it will teach the other drivers who are doing the same thing not to do it, because we're going to have your media filling up with people coming to talk about accident of death all the time. And so this is a part for the police force to take stronger action and to have these persons who cause people's life on the road by speeding to pay the consequences.
For Headline News Update, Bibi Bacchus.